So let's get this started. This is our weekend review. We're going to be touching on a few topics this week. We're going to be talking about, of course, the Jonathan Majors arrest in New York City. We're going to be talking about the updates for the upcoming Star Wars movies. And we're also going to be talking about what we're hearing as far as casting for the upcoming Ghostbusters movies. This is Anthony. I'm with themovieblog.com, and I'm back here with another video. If you're new here, do me a favor, hit that like button and consider subscribing before you leave on to your next video. Let's start off with the first thing. Jonathan Majors, who, in what is sure to be shocking news to many, we're learning that actor Jonathan Majors was arrested on Saturday, July 25th for allegedly assaulting a woman. The news came out late Saturday night, catching the internet by surprise, and it set off a flurry of reactions. There were a lot of people who were adding their own little commentary, bringing up things like Ezra Miller and doing comparisons and more. A police report was released stating that a preliminary investigation determined that a 33-year-old male was involved in a domestic dispute with a 30-year-old female. The victim informed police she was assaulted. Officers placed the 33-year-old male into custody without incident. The victim sustained minor injuries to her head and neck and was removed to an area hospital in stable condition. Now, like I said, the internet was very fast to react to the news, with fans showing shock and surprise and more. Some fans began mentioning the incident of Ezra Miller and doing comparisons. Others, like me, chose to be patient and wait for additional information to come out. The U.S. Army, however, did not wait for new information and paused its advertising campaign featuring the actor. The two Be All You Can Be commercials featuring Jonathan Majors as an on-screen narrator were pulled. That's not the only swift action taken over this arrest, as Jonathan Majors' lawyer, Priya Chaudhry, has released a statement saying that the actor is innocent and has evidence proving his innocence. The statement reads as follows. Jonathan Majors is completely innocent and is probably the victim of an altercation with a woman he knows. We're quickly gathering and presenting evidence to the district attorney with the expectation that all charges will be dropped imminently. Evidence includes video footage from the vehicle where the episode took place, witness testimony from the driver and others who both saw and heard the episode, and most importantly, not one, but two written statements from the woman recanting these allegations. All the evidence proves that Mr. Majors is entirely innocent and did not assault her whatsoever. Whew. This would be very important evidence, as the court of public opinion can be very quick to judge. I'm wondering if this video footage will be made public, but either way, we're certain to hear more about this in the coming days. Overall, I hope the truth comes out and that everyone is okay when all that is said and done. I'm not a fan of stories where there's domestic abuse like this, and I'm going to be wishing the best for everyone involved, especially the victim. Moving right along, Ghostbusters has some casting updates. Finally, we're getting some news about Ghostbusters. We're getting a filming and casting update from the Ghostbusters Afterlife sequel film. Now, I love the original Ghostbusters movies, and we know that the film studios behind the recent Afterlife film, they're moving fast on getting a sequel in theaters. We don't have too much information about the sequel, but reports online are stating that the film is bringing the story back to New York City, back to the original firehouse, and they're hinting it might be more of a traditional Ghostbusters film. Kumail Nanjiani and Patton Oswalt have joined the cast, with Kumail actually releasing a statement on his social media. Here's what he said. Ghostbusters was my first favorite movie. I remember exactly how I felt the first time I watched it. Horror and comedy in one movie? This movie was made for me, and I watched it over and over. The script is unbelievably good. I can't believe I get to be a part of this world. In addition, we're also learning that comedians James Castor and Emily Allen Lind have joined the cast as well. Now, if you're not familiar with these names, don't feel left out. I had to look them up too and found out that they aren't too well known in the US. In 2018, Castor starred in the 4-part Netflix comedy series Repertoire. Most recently, Aylin Lind starred in 2 seasons of HBO's reimagining of Gossip Girl, as well as the film The Babysitter Killer Queen. Jason Reitman, who directed the 2021 Ghostbusters Afterlife, is moving away from the director's chair and is moving into a writer-producer role alongside co-writer Gil Keenan. Gil Keenan is going to be taking up the directing duties after Reitman. Paul Rudd and Carrie Coon will return and star in the film alongside these new stars. I am curious about this movie, and I hope that we'll see a film that features a more familiar Ghostbusters type story. The original two films are some of my favorite childhood movies. I really enjoyed them for what they were, with people who were catching and chasing down ghosts. Afterlife was fun, but I need some more of that Ghostbusters goodness from the past. Hopefully we'll get some more information about Ghostbusters soon and see if we could get a solid release date. Moving along, we're getting new Star Wars writers. Now, Star Wars is back in the news, and we're learning that the Star Wars movie that I was most looking forward to isn't going to be happening with the writers that I was hoping. I'm referring to the project that was being developed by writers Damon Lindelof and Justin Brick Gibson. I was really hoping that this one would get traction with these two in the writer's seat, as it was reported that the talented Yahya Abdul-Mateen II was attached as a lead with Damon Lindelof as a package deal. We're now learning that writer Stephen Knight is going to be stepping into the project as the writer, with Academy Award winner Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy attached to direct. Now, the project is still said to be in development, and we don't have any details besides this new announcement, but we do know that this one is still in development. Star Wars hasn't released a film in theaters since Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, back in 2019. Now, there have been multiple Star Wars projects that have been announced over the years, including a Star Wars film being produced by Marvel head honcho Kevin Feige and Patty Jenkins, who was working on Rogue Squadron. Those films are said to no longer be in development. Add that along with the trilogy by Star Wars Episode 8 director Rian Johnson, that is no longer happening, and director J.D. Dillard, who told The Wrap back in November 2022 that he was no longer developing a Star Wars project. Oh, and let's not forget that Game of Thrones executive producers David Benioff and D.B. Weiss walked away from a series of Star Wars films they were set to write and produce as well. There's no telling when we'll next see a Star Wars project in theaters, with only a few projects still in active development. So far, we still have the project from filmmaker Taika Waititi, in which he would likely star, as well as a potential film from director Sean Levy of Deadpool 3 fame. That's all we know about these projects for right now, but let's hope that we're going to get some new information about a story from a galaxy far, far away. That's all I have for this one. Hey guys, if you're new here to the movie blog, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Get initiated. This way you can keep up with all of these news updates, our reviews, and more moving forward. Otherwise, I'm going to have to check you guys later.